It's the North versus the South in San Jose tonight. Rotary Club of Almaden Valley proudly presents the 34th annual Silicon Valley Youth Classic Charlie Wedemeyer All-Star Football Game. From Spartan Stadium on the campus of San Jose State University, 90 of the best high school football players in the Bay Area face off against one another for the last time. Good evening, everyone. Alongside longtime Bay Area high school sports journalist David Kiefer, I'm Kirsten Fairchild. So glad to have you with us. In the previous 33 meetings, the South has claimed victory 17 times, the North has won 14 times, and the game is finished in a tie twice. Now, last year it was a very exciting game. The North kicked a 45-yard field goal to win it 24-21. Dave, are we expecting that much excitement tonight?
Yeah, it has to be, because every game is so close. It comes down to the wire. Last year was no exception. I think you probably go back to the last 10 years, and probably 9 of them have gone down to the end.
Well, the running game is the name of the game. We're going to see some of the best running backs to ever play high school football in the Bay Area tonight, including for the North offense, Nick Calpine out of Los Gatos, Thomas Reynolds out of Archbishop Mitty. How do you stop these two?
Well, it's going to be very difficult. Nick Calpine was the focus of every defense last year, and he still set county records in rushing and touchdowns, scoring 41 times last year. He's going to be tough to stop. Thomas Reynolds, he'll be back for the first time since breaking his femur late in the season. He was a 1,000-yard rusher, but he'll be back, and it'll be great to see him back in the uniform tonight.
Mountain View High graduate Shane Cooney and Carl Winkleman of Los Gatos are the anchors of this North defense. Talk about two talented players.
Well, Shane Cooney is going to be everywhere on this field. He made 147 tackles last year, which was the third most in the Central Coast section. He's going to Brown next year. He's going to be probably in on every play.
And how about Carl Winkleman from Los Gatos? We got Los Gatos featured on offense and defense.
That's right. Winkleman, he'll be going to Cal Poly next year to play. He's just a big time player on the rush. He can cause fumbles, he can make sacks, he'll be all over the quarterback.
Well, it's not just the North squad that has a terrific running game. The South has a tandem of their own. Nevin Gardner out of Oak Grove and A.J. Ellis out of Andrew Hill. Talk about speed. Speed kills.
Yeah, well, Nevin Gardner has rushed for 2,000 yards the past 2 seasons. He's got 62 touchdowns in his high school career, and that's with defenses that are geared to stop him.
And how about A.J. Ellis?
A.J. Ellis, he's a Division I recruit. He'll be playing at Fresno State next year. He's one of the most elusive and shifty running backs you're going to see anywhere.
On defense for the South, Stacy Long out of Oak Grove and Tanner Burns out of Valley Christian. We all know what great programs they are, and to play defense to start for those two teams, it's no mystery, no surprise that they're starting here tonight.
Well, Stacy Long is one of the most versatile players around. He probably was the most valuable player on Oak Grove's CCS championship team last year. Tanner Burns is a rangy player, safety, just a high football IQ. His dad is an assistant coach at San Jose State, and that's where Tanner will be playing next year.
Great talent on display. Lots of people in the stands. Our Pam George will be bringing some interviews from the sideline. Up next, it's the opening kickoff of high school all-star football from the Spartan Stadium in San Jose.
And now, if we could invite everyone to please rise for the singing of our national anthem, sung tonight by singer-songwriter Jesse Constantino.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars bursting
Singer-songwriter Jesse Cosentino, a Lehigh graduate, all of 18 years old, singing the national anthem here before this all-star game. Jesse Cosentino, here she is with the man of the hour, the man who means so much to high school football in the area.
Well, Charlie Wedemeyer is a remarkable man. I think it's well documented about what he's gone through. He's lived with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, since 1976. He was given 2 to 3 years to live. He's 62 years old now. He's seen his children get married, graduate from college. He's got, I believe, 5 grandchildren. His daughter is expecting a baby. His daughter-in-law is also expecting a baby. He could live to see 2 more grandchildren. He's recently returned home. He'd been to the hospital for a while with kidney problems that developed because of diabetes. He now has to go through dialysis every night. He does that at home, but he still looks great, and he's still a part of this game. He's still going to continue to coach Frost Soft football at Los Gatos High this season.
And that's great news. And of course, his wife, Lucy Wedemeyer, who has just been at his side over the years. They really are something to behold, aren't they?
Well, she is a very strong woman, and they're very positive. When he was in the hospital probably about a month ago, the doctors refused to let him go home, and because of her willpower mostly, they were able to bring him home, and they take care of him at home now. He doesn't have to be in a hospital.
Getting ready for the coin toss. The North team wearing the blue and red, and those captains are Shane Cooney, number 20, Paul Michael Davis, number 30, Kenny Jackson, number 28, and the 2 captains for the South team, Arjun Ashokumar wearing number 5, and Danny Ochoa, number 32, and our referee Phil Beltran to handle the coin toss here at Spartan Stadium.
I don't know if there's any advantages to going one way or the other. The sun is on the north side mostly, so I suppose that's a concern. You don't want to have the sun in your eyes if you're a receiver turning around looking for a pass. So I guess there are some advantages to at least picking which direction to go in the first quarter when you do have that sun field.
And it looks like the South won the toss. As we saw the coin toss by our national anthem singer. Talking it over.
Looks like Stacy Long talking to the official, deciding what to do. And let's see what they decide. There's no wind to speak of, so I don't think that's a factor.
The South won the toss.
Coin toss is won by the South, and they will kick off first. That means the North will get the ball to start things off here at San Jose State.
I apologize, that was Danny Ochoa, the captain in the Oak Grove uniform, not Stacy Long. Ochoa has been a leader on this team as well as his own team at Oak Grove.
Let's go down now to Pam George on the sidelines.
Thanks, Kirsten, and welcome everyone to the sidelines at Spartan Stadium. Our cameras are here ready to bring you all of the on-field action at what promises to be a terrific battle between the North and the South.
The 34th annual Silicon Valley Youth Classic Charlie Wedemeyer All-Star Football Game about to get underway. The South's Nate Jones, the 6', 175-pounder out of Leland, handling the kickoff duties back deep. Dante Mills, number 4, and Thomas Reynolds, and it's a squib kick. And it's down at the 29-yard line. What? Talk about starting the game off with a surprise, Dave.
Well, I was really hoping the ball would be kicked to Thomas Reynolds. The last time he touched the ball, he broke his femur. And I just want to see him get a touch and just get back into a football game.
Sam Scudolari, the 6'3", 180-pounder out of St. Francis, handling the North quarterbacking duties. I formation, 2 receivers outright for the North squad. Man in motion coming right to left. Scudolari with the handoff to the fullback. It's Calpine, Nick Calpine of Los Gatos, picking up some good yardage on the first play. Starting lineups for the North up front: Dallas Jackson, James Nayland, Chris Frost, Zachary Cowitz, Logan Lejean, and the tight end Andy Meunier. And our skill players today: Thomas Reynolds, the running back; Calpine, the fullback; Mike Scott is one of the wide receivers, and Billy Gardini, the other.
No surprise Nick Calpine got the ball in the first play. He was a workhorse for Los Gatos. He carried the ball 17 consecutive times in his final high school game to lead off the game.
And out of the shotgun is Scudolari on second and third from the 37. Man wide open, crossing midfield, and down at the 45-yard line. First down, North.
Mike Scott of Palo Alto is probably the best athlete probably in this game. He's got great hands. He didn't have to do much there as far as any kind of spectacular play, but he's definitely capable of making a spectacular play when he needs to. He's not going to drop any balls, and we'll probably see a lot of throws to Mike Scott tonight.
Just underway, first quarter action. The North team in the red and blue jerseys, white pants, moving right to left. First down from the 45, and the handoff to Calpine. Stutter step, going for the first down. He may have gotten it. Calpine showing how strong of a runner he is.
That's why he's so effective. He has great lower body strength. He's a wrestler, he's a state meet wrestler, and watch him drag tacklers down the field. Tacklers just bounce off him because he's got such a great lower body strength that he can keep his balance when other people are running into him.
Second one from the at the south 36-yard line. Looks like we have an injured player down around the 42nd yard line, and he's being attended to. And out comes the North head coach, Ray Wright. Ray Wright just completed his second year at Lynbrook. He's back for his third season.
Ray Wright of Lynbrook has turned around that program. It's been one of the losingest programs in the area. This year they had their first winning record since I believe 1993, and they were right into the race of the El Camino division right into the final couple of weeks. He's a former Oak Grove player and assistant coach, and has done an outstanding job turning that program around at Lynbrook.
And the injured player Zachary Cowitz, the 6'4", 250-pounder out of Saratoga High School. Good news is he's walking off on his own volition. Back to the ball game, 2nd and 1. And it's the handoff, running around the left side, going for the first down.
That's Kenny Jackson from Mitty, who's going to be going to Cal Poly next year. Him and Reynolds were just a great tandem. Jackson picked up more than 700 yards rushing this year, and also was just a great blocking back for Reynolds. Probably the best duo in the section as far as halfback, fullback combination.
So another first down for the North. Again, Scudolari out of the shotgun, 2 receivers out left, 1 out wide right. And the throw, going for it, and you saw the receiver pull up there. Mike Scott pulled up, and Scudolari with the overthrow.
That's just a little bit of miscommunication. Obviously, these quarterbacks and receivers haven't played together very much. They've had 10 practices coming into this game. Scott looked like he was going to take a post move there. Quarterback expected him to go out to the sideline. So just a little bit of miscommunication. That's going to be expected in a game like this where players aren't familiar with each other.
Trevor Vlay, wearing number 25, checks in for the North offense. 2nd and 10 from the south 33-yard line. 3 minutes gone here in this all-star football game. And the pitch out to number 9. That is Havlik Pomely from Milpitas, picking up a couple of yards.
Yep. Pomely is one of those short backs, but just extremely powerful. He was a 1,000-yard rusher for the Trojans. Just a good durable back. Mark Crail, of course, the North coach. The South coach. This is his 3rd time coaching the South team as a head coach in this game.
3rd and 7 from the 30-yard line. It's Pomely, lone back. And the pass outright screen. And it's Thomas Reynolds, and he doesn't pick up much. Great defensive swarming by the South.
I can guarantee you that Thomas Reynolds just breathed an entire huge sigh of relief after making that. That's his first touch since the injury, and probably great for his confidence knowing he can take a hit or two and still get up afterwards.
4th and 6. Punter is, well, they're going to go for a field goal. Number 19, Daniel Dukic for the North out of Santa Clara High School.
It's going to be a 46-yard attempt.
46-yard attempt indeed. The holder is Danny Young out of Los Altos. The long snapper, Gabe Essner. 46 yards for the North, and we've got a flag down. We'll wait for the call. And it's a false start against the North. That'll move him back 5. That makes it a 51-yarder. Now, head coach Ray Wright told me that Dukic was making 51-yarders in practice, but...
Well, I don't know if you noticed on that play, there was a change in the rules from the past where you could not rush the kicker in this All-Star game. This year they've changed it to allow a rush, which is interesting because last year during the game-winning kick by Kevin Blakely of Westmont, there was no rush on that 45-yard kick.
8:41, the kick was no good.
Penalty was declined.
And the penalty was declined, so first down from the 20. They'll take over on the 20, the South offense. And running the show for the South, Arjun Ashokur, the 5'11", 180-pounder out of Yerba Buena. I formation, 2 receivers out right for the South as they go to work for the first time. Pass complete to David Henderson out of Valley Christian. As the South comes out throwing.
Cooney and Mills there defensively for the North.
So the defensive play there by Shane Cooney. We talked about Cooney. He's going to be playing at Brown next year in the Ivy League. We said he's going to be all over the field. The first play, he makes the tackle.
Pick up a 4. 2nd and 6 from their own 24-yard line. In the backfield is Roger Rose Jr. out of Gunderson. It's man in motion. And the handoff straight up the gut. And A.J. Ellis just kept on rolling, kept on moving forward. Say about close to a first down, a little short.
You know, we mentioned earlier a little about the backfield for these two teams. I think that's especially true of this South backfield. They have 3 halfbacks that have combined for over 5,000 yards rushing this season. That's Roger Rose, Nevin Gardner, and A.J. Ellis. And then they also have altogether 5 players that I know of that have rushed for over 1,000 yards, including Travis Driscoll, who's just playing defense in this game.
Oshokumar, one of the captains, puts a man in motion. It's number 22, and what a read! The North putting the player on the back in the backfield.
James McCullough of Palo Alto made a nice stop on that play, and that's kind of fitting because Palo Alto has had just an outstanding defense the last couple of years, and McCullough, a linebacker for the Vikings, helped that team win the CCS Large School Division Championship, their 2nd straight CCS title, and a lot of that is because of the play of the defense, making plays like that.
2nd and 14 from the 26. The North defense coming out strong here in the opening quarter. Less than 7 to play. Oshikar dumps it out, and what a hit. The North defense giving the fans something to cheer about, and it's number 64, Ryan Esaroma, the 6'1", 290-pounder.
Actually, that was Carl Winkleman, who we talked about earlier from Los Gatos. He's got great speed. He can play linebacker or defensive line. In college, he'll probably be more of a linebacker, but with an emphasis on rushing from the outside. He'll be at Cal Poly along with Thomas Reynolds and Kenny Jackson.
3rd and 10 from the 30. Nearing the 6-minute mark, opening quarter. Scoreless here at Spartan Stadium. Ashokar Looking right. Has a man, pass complete. And you see the North defense swarm, but not before the South completes the play.
Ashokumar made a little bit of a gutsy pass. I mean, that was almost intercepted by Shane Cooney. It looks like it's a third. Oh, looks like they got the first down out of that. You know, I'm curious about how they're going to play the quarterbacks. I'm guessing that Mark Crail's going to use Ashokumar for maybe the first series, and then go with Ricky Batapede the second series. But sometimes they go quarter by quarter. Either way, the quarterback who starts the fourth quarter is probably going to be the one who's most effective during the game.
The handoff. Man, maybe a yard or two for 2nd and 9. So that was a big, big play, big pass play, giving the South a first down.
Alonzo Parks had the carry for from Santa Teresa. It'll be interesting to see what Ashokumar can do at this level. He played in the West Valley Division, which is the lowest of the 3 divisions in the Blossom Valley Athletic League. Their schedule at year one, it was not really difficult, but he's proven himself in practice to be a real leader, smart quarterback, and a great arm.
Ashokumar on 2nd and 6, almost intercepted. And Darnell Digital Green making the play for the North defense.
That was a nice defensive play. He was looking for David Henderson of Valley Christian. Probably would have had that pass if not for the good defensive play by Green. But then, you know, again, you're seeing Ashokumar's arm. Good strength, good arm strength. He had really had a breakthrough year. You know, Mark Crail didn't know anything about him before he came into this game. He'd never seen him on film, never coached against him. So he's gotten to know him just in these 10 practices, and he's kind of finding out what he can do.
3 receivers out left, 3rd and 6 from their own 44-yard line. Single back for Ashokumar. See the rush defense from, and their first sack of the evening. It's number 30 for the North, and that's Paul Michael Davis, one of the co-captains of this team, and the 6'2", 220-pounder.
Well, they were more concerned with double teaming alignment on the left side of the offensive line, but they didn't see any. They didn't see Davis coming in from the backside, and that's eventually cost him.
So 4th and 17th, and punting will be Nate Jones out of Leland. Back, looks like Arthur Washington for the North. So less than 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Actually, it's Darnell Green back to return this punt. And Nate Jones. High punt from Jones. And takes a north bounce and down about the 33-yard line. Still scoreless here in the first quarter, 3:39 remaining. And the North will take over for their second series. Kirsten Fairchild's David Kiefer, Pam George on the sidelines this evening.
Thanks, Kirsten. Now, this summer Clash of Champions features top football players from each school's graduating class, and these players have really been dedicated. Not only did they attend the practices before tonight's event, they were also honored at an introduction banquet in May, and in July, they actually went up and toured the 49er facilities.
Thank you, Pam. There's a shot of Ray Wright, a very demonstrative, emotional coach, and really excited to be here and awarded such an honor of being named the head coach for the North squad.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how he handles his quarterbacks. It looks like Scudolari is back in. He'll probably go for the remainder of this quarter.
Scudolari in the handoff.
Kenny Jackson on the carry. Lost yardage on that one, 3-yard loss.
2nd and 13 from the 30. Scudolari under center. 3 receivers eligible on the left side. Scudolari drops back, looks at his left side, tucks it on his hip, evading tacklers and brought down at the 33-yard line. And the South are saying there was a fumble and they recovered. Let's take another look.
I couldn't tell whether the ball came out or not, but there's still some question, it appears. Looks like it's still, oh no, it is a turnover.
The first turnover of the ball game, the fumble from the North on their second play allows the South to take over. 2:36 remaining in the first quarter, and the South will go to work on the North 33-yard line. Was it Danny Ochoa?
I couldn't tell who recovered the ball. You know, those things happen when you have a quarterback running up the middle with a lot of bodies in there, and they're not used to tucking it up, so you know, they just keep it loose too often.
Ricky Batapede is the quarterback now for the South, wearing number 23 in the handoff. And another good play from the North, and that player lost his hat, number 30 for the North, Paul Michael Davis.
Paul Michael Davis, another big tackle.
Davis certainly is an enthusiastic player with the sack, and not afraid to lose his head, I guess you might say.
He lost his hat. His hat came off. 2:04 remaining. Pickup of 3, so 2nd and 7 for Batapede. Batapede throwing and almost making the right catch.
You know, Batapede brings a little bit different look when he comes into the game. He's more of a running quarterback, rollouts, play action, whereas Ashok Kumar is more of a drop back passer. So you're going to see some a little bit of creation by you know, moving his legs, getting outside the pocket a little bit. Crail, his teammate, almost made that catch. That would have been pretty tough to do, though.
Kevin Crail, the intended receiver, 3rd and 7 from the 30. Minute 49 remaining in the first quarter. The South is on the move after recovering the fumble. And Batapede dumps it off. Room to run. First down for the South.
You get to see a little bit more of Nevin Gardner there and why he's such a special athlete. Low center of gravity, good burst of speed, good. He's able to read the lineman, read his blocks, know where to run. He evaded a couple players there largely by knowing where to go on that play.
1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Minute 34 remaining. Batapede out of Leland High School, under center, I formation. And another handoff, this time to Markle. Kalani Markle out of Branham barrels his way forward for a pickup of a few yards.
Yeah, Markle's one of those players that you know, is probably less heralded than you know, some of the other players on his team, but obviously outstanding player. You know, there's a reason why he's in this game. He was a first-team All-Mount Hamilton Division running back at Branham.
2nd and 6 from the 18, less than a minute to play. Opening quarter. The South on the move. And again, another big hit in the backfield for a loss.
Winkleman again, you know, he's right there plugging that gap. And it's interesting to see that Los Gatos and Oak Grove combination. They don't play each other during the season, but you know, you got guys like Calpine, Gardner, Winkleman, you know, Stacy Long going against each other for the first time in a long time, you know, or if ever. And you know, you just see the best against the best.
As Batapede drops back into shotgun formation. Batapede dropping back, looking end zone. No, he dumps it off. He's got a runner. And out of bounds at the 3. Flag is thrown. Perhaps a late hit. The quarter has expired, but not before the South makes a big play.
Well, that's a typical play for Danny Contreras of Gilroy. He did that all season long in the spread offense that the Mustangs ran, just kind of coming underneath, you know, lining up in the slot and making something happen after the catch.
We'll wait for the penalty.
Looked like he kind of got him from behind, and So that, it didn't affect the play that much, so very costly penalty. So it's going to be a 1 untimed down to finish off the first quarter.
So 3rd and 4 from the 16-yard line.
It would have been 1st and goal, if not for that call. So this is a big play.
So time has expired, but the untimed down. It's Batapede under center. The pitch to Gardner. Gardner around the left side, showing some speed, straight arms, and out of bounds around the 7-yard line. So after 1 quarter of play, no score. The defenses are standing strong. The North and South locked in a scoreless tie. Pam George is our sideline reporter tonight. Pam.
Hey Kirsten, we're in the stands on the south side of the field, and I'm with Nick, and Nick is the brother of one of the players on the field, Nevin Gardner, who's number 7. Now Nevin is one of the best running backs that the Bay Area has ever produced. You must be very, very proud.
Oh, I have to be very proud of him because he's worked hard, he's played through the ups and downs, and he understands the game of football, and he's worked hard to get to the situation, so he's more deserving. I'm very proud of him.
Are you a fan?
Oh, I'm his #1 fan. I can't deny it.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, no problem.
Nevin Gardner out of Oak Grove High School. What a career he had as a high school athlete. He has since graduated. Here he is in the All-Star game, showing his speed, getting around the corner, and gets tackled by Shane Cooney, the strong safety, out of bounds. So it's 1st and 7 for the South. In the white, blue, and red jerseys, playing with the white pants, right to left. The North team in red top of their jerseys and blue. So 1st and goal for the South. I formation, Baptiste stays in, gives it to Gardner. Gardner left side, can't turn the corner and find the end zone.
Well, Gardner's a lot like Calpine, where he can carry just about every play. He's very durable. Gardner's got a lot of durability. He can carry, repeatedly, and he's really not going to be affected too much like Nick Calpine of Los Gatos.
And we see Winkleman, the big man, in on the defensive play once again. So no gain on the play. 2nd and 7, start of the 2nd quarter. The South with the ball. 2nd and goal. Gardner. You just get the sense they want to give it to Gardner here.
They may have something else up their sleeve, I have a feeling.
Baptiste rolling out to his right, plenty of hankies, and the throw, great adjustment by the receiver, but we'll see what the flags all mean.
So it's on the offense, it'll be called back. That's a touchdown with pass was to Danny Ochoa of Oak Grove. Is that a hold? I didn't see the. Oh, illegal motion. So that's a 5-yard penalty.
Ochoa's catch negated. We'll see where this lands. So it'll be replaying the down. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Receivers out wide, looking the same way. And we saw the contact and overthrown by Batapede. So now a flag is thrown. Are we going to have interference here, David?
Yeah, well, I believe so. John Lee of Milpitas. That was pretty good coverage, but there was some contact, and it looked like the ball was kind of up for grabs. They're going to call the North on that penalty, so another opportunity.
As you can see, Mark Crail and his fellow coaches, his coaching staff looking on. So the penalty results in half the distance to the goal. So 2nd and goal from the 3.
Now this might be Nevin Gardner territory right here.
Man in motion. And given to Gardner, read well once again by Winkleman. Carl Winkleman out of Los Gatos is everywhere.
And he seems to have an affinity of tackling Nevin Gardner. He's making a couple big plays on him. And that's going to cost the South.
So the South offense is really stalled here in the red zone. Loss on the play, loss of 4 on the play, so 2nd and goal from the 7. Batapede under center, sends a man in motion, and the handoff, and again, read by Winkleman.
That was Stacy Long of Oak Grove, and Winkleman again making the big play. Look at him fight off the blockers right there. He just knifed right through 2 blockers.
Another 3-yard loss. Winkleman having an outstanding first half. 10 minutes remaining in the first half. 3rd and 10 for the South.
He's got to have probably 5 tackles already, solo tackles, I would think, by now.
As you can see, Ray Wright, head coach in the tan pants, looking on. Batapede rolling to his left, looking for a receiver. Plenty of time for Batapede. He throws it into a crowd, and it's incomplete.
I couldn't tell who tipped it, but it was intended for Jajit Sidhu of Lincoln in the back of the end zone. That's going to be a 4th down now. Good rush by Davis.
Now this is interesting. Batapede is also the kicker. As the South huddles up.
That'll be a 27-yard try.
Holder is Tanner Burns. The long snapper is Kyle Hennings out of Live Oak. 9:39 left in the game. Can the South get on the scoreboard? Batapede. No, it's a fake. Oh, what a play by the South. Touchdown, South.
That was Roger Rose from Gunderson taking that little pitch from Burns. Should have known that this is the game where you can try just about anything and get away with it.
I said that Batapede was also the kicker, and that was certainly a play that was drawn up a long time ago. Roger Rose Jr. scoring on the fake kick, the fake field goal attempt, and now Batapede will attempt to put it through the uprights for real here, attempting the extra point. And it's blocked. Blocked by the North.
I think that was Matt Turi from Wilcox. Maybe that was a preview of what would have happened if they had tried the field goal.
9:32 left. The South comes up a little bit short, 6-0 after the blocked point after, but they will gladly get on the scoreboard and take a 6-0 lead.
You know, just about Roger Rose, I mean, he has just had a stellar career over at Gunderson. And, you know, playing in a little bit lower division, you know, he doesn't get the notoriety as some of these other players do. But, you know, he didn't have to do much as far as just grab the ball and run with it. He had pretty much daylight the entire way.
Kellen Barker blocking the extra point attempt. Will that come into play as this game goes on? We shall find out.
Yeah, Rose, just again about Rose, he rushed for over 1,600 yards this season, scored 16 touchdowns for Gunderson. He was the most outstanding offensive back in the Santa Teresa division, with Alonzo Parks of Santa Teresa, who's also in this game.
Nate Jones out of Leland, Dante Mills and Thomas Reynolds back, but again, they don't kick it to him. You see the hit, the ball carrier stands on his feet, crosses out about the 42-yard line. What do you think about this tactic of Nate Jones, Dave?
Well, you know, there's so many dangerous return men on both these teams that I suppose it doesn't hurt to try to avoid kicking to these guys, because any one of these kicks that lands in their hands can be broken for a score. Just on the drive there, the scoring drive, that was a 33-yard drive in 13 plays. It took 4 minutes and 54 seconds.
First and 10 from the 41 for the North, trailing 6-0, 9:26 remaining in the first half. And it's Scudolari handing off to Dante Mills.
Well, it's interesting that Scudolari is still in the game. Maybe they're going to do it where each quarter, well, they have 3 quarterbacks on that team, so it's interesting to see how long each of them plays. I would assume that another one would have been Danny Young might have been in the game by now, but we'll see maybe how long he goes with Scudolari, probably after this series.
2nd and 7 from their own 44-yard line. Scudolari looking left. And on the slant play, it's complete. Mike Scott out of Palo Alto with the catch.
And Scott is, he's got, like I said, great hands, and he can make catches in traffic. He caught the winning catch. He basically won the large school division championship game with a 14-yard leaping catch in traffic while being double teamed with 13 seconds left to beat Menlo Atherton 14-7.
Terrific vertical leap. 3rd and 2 from their own 49-yard line. Scudolari under center, I formation. Man in motion. The handoff. And pushed back.
That was Calpine.
Calpine, you don't see that too often.
No, not at all. He's pretty strong, but I don't think he can outmuscle 6 or 7 guys at one time.
So they're saying he did advance the ball forward momentum to the 50-yard line. That'll be 4th and 1 for the North, and it looks like they're going to go for it.
I think they're going to call a timeout here.
And yes, Ray Wright asking Scudolari to call a timeout. So timeout on the field, 7:30 remaining in the half. The North with the ball and a decision to make. They trail 6-0. Let's go down to the field and Pam George.
Kirsten, Spartan Stadium has been the home of the San Jose Spartans football program for more than 7 decades. The Spartans made their debut on this field back on October 7th, 1933 against San Francisco State in front of a full house, 4,000 spectators. Now today, the stadium seats 30,000 and is also home to the San Jose State's men's and women's soccer teams. And this year, Spartan Stadium became home of the Major League Lacrosse team, the San Francisco Dragons. Back up to you, Kirsten.
Thank you, Pam. The South needing just 4 minutes, 54 seconds to go, 33 yards, 13 plays, and ending with a 10-yard touchdown pass. Actually, well, the fake to Charlie Rose Jr. And here we are. And again, the defensive stands we've seen tonight, Dave, have been so impressive.
Well, it looked like Jimmy Molnar from Bellarmine just wrestled Calpine down, which is pretty remarkable, and it looks like he still remains a good yard short. They're going to measure, but I don't think, it's pretty obvious that he's not even close. And there it is. They stopped him.
The South has come up with a big stop. They will take over at midfield.
Shokumar is back in the game.
Shokumar out of Yerba Buena. As you see him talking to Kalani Markle, wearing number 4 in the backfield for the South. 3 receivers out left for the South. And the handoff to Markle. Plunges his way for a big gain.
I got some pretty outstanding blocking there. The offensive line just drove the defense back. Markle just followed along.
Every time Carl Winkleman gets his name called from the PA announcer, he's got the big fan club right in front of us, David.
Well, he's from a football family. His brother played in this game for Los Gatos a few years ago. There's a great community of fans from Los Gatos anyway, and they know the Winklemans very well.
Nate Jones out left, the receiver out left for Ashokumar and the South. I formation. 2nd and 4 from the North 44-yard line. And it looks like an option play now. heading for the first down. Looks like the South getting the first down on the play. A.J. Ellis looked like he was maybe going to throw, Dave, and decided he had plenty of real estate in front of him.
That was going to be a double pass. Mark Crail, the Pioneer coach, told me earlier in the week that was in their playbook. A.J. Ellis was looking deep for Kevin Crail, but he just wasn't able to get the time to uncork the throw. But he's got a pretty good arm. He's done that with Andrew Hill. So there was some trickery there. That was planned long in advance.
South's got all sorts of tricks up their sleeve. 1st and 10 from the North 39-yard line. 6 minutes left in the half. 2 receivers out left. And the handout to Markle. And Markle's doing a great job on this drive, picking up yardage.
Right, and Turi of Wilcox with the tackle from behind. But Markle's showing something here. He's showing some pretty good strength. And, you know, between the tackles, pretty strong running.
Mark Crail calling the play into Shokumar. 2nd and 7 from the 36. Darren Samita, receiver outright, as well as Daniel Contreras. Rose Jr. in the backfield. Man in motion. And the handoff to Contreras. Contreras turning the corner until he's run out of bounds.
Yeah, I noticed they ran away from Winkleman's side.
I wonder why.
You know, Contreras is one of those guys, these all-purpose guys that Gilroy had. You know, he can run and he can catch. Good return guy as well. He had a big kickoff return for a score in the Open Division semifinal victory over Los Gatos.
1st and 10. High formation for Shokumar. Shokumar looking to his right. Flag comes down and he gets leveled.
That was Mike Doricott from Los Altos making the play, but I think that was just a coverage sack, basically.
So holding against the South.
Yeah, that whole thing fell apart pretty quickly. And David Henderson looked like he was the intended receiver on the right side, but Shokumar didn't have the time or the room to get him the ball.
That'll back the ball up to the 35-yard line.
They declined that penalty, I believe.
After that, so 2nd and 17. Shokumar under center. And the handoff. Turning the corner and picking up some yardage, A.J. Ellis. We really haven't had a chance yet to see Ellis's motor.
Yeah, Ellis is, you know, one of the most elusive runners there is. Look at the way he shakes off that one tackler. Fresno State is going to use him in a lot of different ways. Kind of a slot back, a guy who returns kicks, can maybe carry the ball on a reverse. Basically a guy who they want to give him some room, and he can make a lot happen with a little bit of room because he's so elusive.
3rd and 11 on the North 29-yard line. Ashokmar, time, looks to his left. He's got a man wide open. And picking up a bunch of yardage, Kevin Crail, the coach's son, wide open on that play.
Well, Crail, good receiver and good runner. He's one of those guys who pretty much can play almost any position, real versatile, good hands. It's interesting to see how his dad uses him in this game, because there are a lot of possibilities, just like there are with Ellis.
That's
right.
Where
you can be very creative with him.
1st and 10, so Crail on the pass completion picks up the first down, and once again the South is threatening. 3:14 remaining in the half, 1st and 10 from the North 18-yard line. I formation, the pitch to A.J. Ellis. A.J. Ellis kept zinging and sagging. All the way, rumbles down all the way to about the 2-yard line.
And how about that block by, that was really set up by the block by Alonzo Parks right in front of him, the Santa Teresa player, who really created that window for Ellis to squeeze through.
So a big play there by Paul Michael Davis, saving the touchdown. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line.
1st and goal for the South.
3:04 remaining in the first half of the play, and South up 6-0. 1st and goal from the North 3-yard line. Ashokumar. And the handoff. No, yes, it's Ellis. A.J. Ellis again, working the right side, zigging and zagging and celebrating. A.J. Ellis from Archbishop Mitty. It's a 12-0 lead after the touchdown.
Well, you could see why Ellis is so effective, because the North fell for the fake up the middle. They thought Ellis was going to go straight up, but with a guy like him, he can move around a lot and find his own openings. He went over the right side, getting a good block from Danny Ochoa, the tight end, to score that touchdown. But again, it just shows, he can change direction so quickly that you can do a lot of things that way, go in a lot of different directions.
Looks like the South is going to go for 2. Remember, Kellen Barker blocked the extra point attempt earlier in the quarter. So the South going for 2. Ashokumar in, has a receiver out left, lone back, and Ashokumar with the quick pass, and it's intercepted. So the 2-point conversion fails. 12-0 the South lead.
That was Arthur Washington of Mountain View getting the overthrown ball. Unfortunately, for the purposes of this game, you cannot return it for a score like you can in college, which would have been 2 points to the other direction if he would have gone all the way.
12-0 the South. The North has won the last 2 games. Plenty of football remaining. David, what's impressed you so far about what's been going on both sides of the ball?
Well, the biggest thing for me so far is just the play of A.J. Ellis, of Andrew Hill, coming from the lower division, the West Valley division of the Blossom Valley League, where, the competition is not very strong, and he can still do those same things against top players, and obviously that's what the college coaches see. And then Carl Winkleman of Los Gatos is just having a dynamite game on defense for the North. I think those 2 players have really outshone the others right now to this point.
Scoring drive, 9 plays, 50 yards, 4 minutes, 25 seconds. The 2-point conversion failed. And
I'm curious if somebody's going to kick deep for a change.
Nate Jones in for the kickoff, and as you heard, Stacy Long.
Actually, it's
and Kevin Crail, I believe. And again, they're just keeping it away from the deep men. The deep return man, and the South making another big play. But you know what? Good field position for the North at the 40-yard line.
Well, with 2:54 left in the half, they definitely have time to make something happen from that point. And we finally get a look at Danny Young of Los Altos, who's coming into the game at quarterback. And
that's right. I did just want to mention Kenny Jackson with the kickoff return. And yes, Danny Young, the 6'2", 200-pounder out of Los Altos, his first appearance in the game as Sam Scudolari played on the quarterback position until now. So 2:54 for Young and company to work with. I formation, man in motion. And Young right away comes out throwing. He's got his tight end, Andy Munier, first down North.
Well, it makes sense to put Young in that situation because he ran the spread offense at Los Altos, and that's what they're going through here with a kind of a hurry-up offense a little bit. They're still huddling, but that was kind of a spread formation. A 14-yard play there, makes it. He's a guy who can flourish in this type of situation, a 2-minute drill.
1st and 10 on the South 46-yard line. 2:34 remaining in the first half. The North looking to get on the scoreboard. And the handoff. Still on his feet. It's number 9 for the North.
Havelock Pomeli of Milpitas getting the carry there. Back to Young. He passed for 2,687 yards last season, which is the most by a senior quarterback in Santa Clara County. He had 18 touchdown passes, only 7 interceptions. So basically, he averaged 269 yards passing per game.
Pickup of 2 for Pomalee. North has 1 timeout remaining, 1:56. Young with another handoff, and again it's red as Pomalee gets shoved way back.
Jimmy Molnar was in on that stop again, and he of course had that big stop earlier on that 4th down play. So a big stop there. I'm guessing here that Young is going to look for Mike Scott of Palo Alto. That's what I would do in this situation.
We'll see. 3rd and 10 from the 46, 1:17 remaining. And Ray Wright comes on out on the field. They're going to have to burn their last timeout. We had a chance to introduce you to the North coaches. Let's meet the South coaches. Mark Crail just wrapped up his 10th year at Pioneer. Former baseball coach, former UCLA baseball player. Also the AD now, the football coach, as you can see, is joined by a number of his coaching staff, as well as coaches from Lincoln and from Saratoga High School. Right now they are thinking defense. The North is thinking offense. Returning to play again, 3rd and 10 from the 46. Young going big, and he's got a man. 1st down for the North.
Kenney Pope of Fremont making that catch. They have 3 receivers lined up on the left side. It could have been definitely left, made it tough for the defense there with so many guys on that side of the field. Pope had the out route.
Looked like that ball might have been partially deflected, David. Certainly wasn't the tightest spiral, but wide open was Kenney Pope. So 1st and 10 from the South 33, 56 seconds remaining. Young again with the I formation, rolling to his right. Young with room to run, puts it on his hip. Young down to the 22-yard line and out of bounds. What a big play by Danny Young.
Well, that's not the type of thing that you would expect from Danny Young, but not exactly exceptional speed, but he sure made the play when he had to. Another 1st down.
And the sticks will move again. 40 seconds remaining. So a heads-up play by Young, picking up the yardage, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock. And it's 1st and 10 from the 22. So we've seen some great defense played by the South. But first a receiver wide open on the left, and then Young with room to run on the right. 3 receivers eligible on the left side. Young out of the shotgun. Young dumping it off, coming across, and it's Kenney Pope. Kenney Pope upended at about the 17-yard line.
Well,
Pick
they
up a 5.
better move quickly. That's a tough play with 40 seconds left. The clock's running, and they're going to be down to less than 20 seconds by the time they snap the ball.
So the hurry-up offense in effect, and Young is going to spike it with 17 seconds remaining.
At this point, obviously, they're going to have to need to do a quick out or just go straight to the end zone.
The kicker is Daniel Dukick. We'll see if he gets called in duties or if the North team is thinking end zone all the way. Ray Wright conferring with Danny Young. Again, 17 seconds from the 17-yard line. It's 3rd down and 5. See what the North has got up their sleeves. Kalpinen to block, I assume. Young looking quickly, going end zone, and what a catch! Flag is thrown, possibly interference, but it's Mike Scott of Palo Alto. Do we have a touchdown? I believe this is going to be a North touchdown.
Devin Munir looks like probably was called for defensive pass interference, so that's going to stand.
So Young to Scott, Los Altos to Pally, rivals I'm sure. But what a pass by Young. You see the athleticism of Scott.
Well, that was it. They knew that Mike Scott can make a play, especially in one-on-one coverage. They only used 2 receivers on that play and had double running backs to maximize their protection. Just confident that Mike Scott would come down with the ball.
Do kick the extra point. Young is the holder. And the chip shot is up and good. The North get into the end zone with 13 seconds remaining, trailing the South 12-7 here in the first half.
Look at Calpine there, and you have Kenny Jackson also in there to block. But that's just basically Scott finding a way to get to the ball. Munir, didn't even make contact. I think the referee anticipated play, but Scott was just right there, and that's what he does best. He makes big plays when he has to. Scott, by the way.
8 plays, 60 yards, 2 minutes 43 seconds. Very efficiently done by the North.
You know, we talked about his ability to make big plays 2 years ago in the state championship game, the Division II championship game. He had 10 catches for 210 yards against Orange Lutheran. So he knows how to step up when he needs to.
So do kick to kick it off. 13 seconds remaining. And Crail and Long back deep around the 6-yard line. We've seen nothing but squib kicks.
Yeah, I think the chances of those guys getting the ball are
slim to none.
Yeah.
Do kick, kicks it deep, going for the touchback, and it's through the hands of Stacy Long. That's an automatic touchback.
Shows how much we know up here.
Oh.
But yeah, in any other level of football, that would have been live. But in high school, anytime you touch it, and the ball goes into the end zone or breaks the plane, then the play is dead. So Long just took his eyes off it. He was ready to run.
13 seconds remaining. The South up 12-7.
You know, just about Long there. You know, I think his eyes must have opened up big because he's been known to return kicks for touchdowns. He had 2 against Mark Crail's Pioneers in one game.
Batapede in. The handoff. And it's Ellis. And the clock is winding down. That will be the final play. No, looks like we're timeout called by the South. So everyone was getting ready to head to the locker room, but with 1 tick left on the game clock.
Yeah, it's curious. I don't know if they're going to keep Batapede in there for that kind of a play. He has probably not as strong an arm as Ashu Kumar, but it looks like he's going to remain in the game. I assume they'll probably try a reverse or some kind of running play.
So timeout called by the South. We saw the handoff to A.J. Ellis. Pickup of around 3, so it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 23-yard line.
You know, perhaps this would be an opportunity to use another trick play.
And they did put some time back on the clock. 3 seconds remaining as we see Batapede out of the shotgun. Batapede. As the buzzer has sounded, and he's going to sack. So a bit of a momentum for the North here heading into the break, trailing 12-7, come back with a score and then get a sack to end it. But the South leads 12-7 after 1 half of play.
That was Philip Burton of Homestead ended up finishing it off, but Batapede obviously didn't like what he saw. The play kind of broke down pretty quickly. Looked like he was almost tackled by his own man. His blocker,
Winkleman.
Kyle Butcher of Sobrato.
Just have to mention the outstanding first half of Carl Winkleman. Looking on there. Well, the first half is in the books. Entertaining, competitively fought as always. It's the South up 12-7. Can the South come through with the win? The North has won the past 2 years. We'll find out when the second half continues when we return for the second half here at Spartan Stadium. Our sideline reporter Pam George is down on the field. Let's check in with Pam now.
Thanks, Kirsten. I'm down on the field now with Craig Walsh, who of course is the son of very famous Bill Walsh. If you've lived in the Bay Area for any time at all, you know that name. Now tonight we're giving out the first annual Spirit Award, which is a $1,000 scholarship, and it's given to the player who's shown the best spirit over the course of practices leading up to tonight's game, given by the coaches. And it's named for your father.
Great.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, it's a fabulous honor. I mean, my dad really is roots here at San Jose State in the Bay Area. He played football here at San Jose State and actually played in the Bay Area high school football. He'd be very, very proud. He'd love to be here himself, seeing these young athletes dedicating themselves to football.
Is this what he loved to do then, seeing young talent come up the ranks?
He did, and spirit was his thing. I mean, he always said you practice like you play. And again, honor in his name for spirit, I think, is perfectly fitting. It's fabulous.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
You're welcome.
Jessica Vaya Allen, the 2008 Ambassadress of Goodwill, will be singing God Bless America in a tribute to our armed forces. Let's listen in.
God bless America.
Thank you to Jessica Allen, our youth-focused 2008 Ambassadors of Goodwill. Thank you.
The third member of our broadcasting team is Pam George, down on the field.
Thanks, Kirsten. Now, tonight's game would not be possible without the Rotary Club of Almaden Valley. Chartered in 1969, the Rotary Club of Almaden Valley's members represent a wide cross-section of local businesses and professions. This is the 34th year the Rotary Club of Almaden Valley has honored graduating senior high school football players, and they are very proud to present to the community this annual Charlie Wedemeyer High School All-Star Football Game, the Silicon Valley Youth Classic. The Almaden Valley Rotary Club would like to thank all of the sponsors who have made tonight's game and fundraiser such a success. All proceeds from the game will benefit the Charlie Wedemeyer Foundation Outreach Program, as well as local charities sponsored by the Rotary Club of Almaden Valley. Now, before the game, I had an opportunity to speak with the chairman of this event from the Almaden Valley Rotary Club, Mr. Jim Guido. Let's take a look. Jim, as the chairman of this event, you've really worked hard to make this whole thing happen, and it's happening. Huge crowd. You must be very proud.
You know, every year we anticipate bigger and bigger crowds, and it's a pleasure because it's all for the youth of our community, and we don't mind our club, the Ramadan Valley Rotary Club, doesn't mind doing this. It's a good community project. That's why we're in it. Plus, along the way, we raised a few dollars for charity.
Well, we really appreciate it, the community at large, and everyone here tonight, obviously. So thank you.
Thank you for inviting me over to talk to you.
We have a special presentation at midfield right now, the Bill Walsh Spirit Award. We'd like to introduce to you Mr. Craig Walsh.
We want to present the Spirit Award to Danny Ochoa. This player showed spirit above all others in the practices leading up to this fabulous game. In his honor, from my father, Bill Walsh, Ronnie Lott, here's a plaque commemorating this day and a check for $1,000.
Thank you, Craig Walsh. Thanks to Ronnie Lott. And congratulations to a fine young man, Danny Ochoa.
Craig Walsh, the son of Bill Walsh, presenting the Bill Walsh Spirit Award. And Ronnie Lott has designated that this award will be a continued annual tribute in the memory of Bill Walsh and all he stood for. And as we see Danny Ochoa, the first ever recipient, Dave, what an honor for Ochoa, well deserved.
Well, Danny Ochoa has been really an exemplary player ever since practice started. Mark Crail, the South team head coach, said that Ochoa immediately showed leadership qualities. He became the leader right off the bat. Everybody on the team respected him from the get-go. And he would remain after practice, picking up practice vests and other equipment long after his teammates had left. It just, goes to show kind of the selfless attitude that Ochoa displayed, since, practice started for these guys. And I think that's kind of how he's always been. Oak Grove, he was a leader there, well respected on a team that went on to win the Central Coast Section Open Division Championship.
Danny Ochoa, what an honor. Defensive end for the South team. Again, out of Oak Grove High School. Halftime of this all-star high school football game. The South leads 12-7. Kirsten Fairchild along with David Kiefer. David, what a competitive first half. Just 4 yards separate the total offense racked up from these two teams in the first half. It's a close ball game.
Yeah, and there was a chance that the South team was going to they took a substantial 12-0 lead, and the fact that the North was able to come back at the end of the half has made it a whole new ball game.
And some terrific athletes on display. Have the individuals performed here tonight?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you've seen, A.J. Ellis, Carl Winkleman make some big plays. Some of the other top players have been stifled, though, by some of these great defensive players, too.
Let's take a look at some of the talent we have out on the field that we've seen out on the field here in the first half.
We have some great plays by the defense on both sides. This one in particular, great breakup by Darnell Green of Homestead on a deep pass intended for David Henderson. He said there's defensive plays on both sides here. This one from the North, Carl Winkleman of Los Gatos making one of his series of outstanding plays. And then the touchdown, the first touchdown was on a trick play of the field goal. Roger Rose of Gunderson going in with the flip of the ball from Tanner Burns, the holder, on a fake field goal attempt. And the South scored shortly after with A.J. Ellis setting up his touchdown with a long run inside the 5. And followed it up with a great individual move, 2 great cutbacks, and he goes into the end zone for a 12-0 lead for the South. Of course, the North came back near the end of the first half. Pass from Danny Young of Los Altos to Mike Scott of Palo Alto, and it makes it 12-7.
time is over. The 34th Annual Silicon Valley Youth Classic Charlie Wedemeyer All-Star Football Game, second half action to resume. The South won the toss before the game deferred. They will receive the ball with a 12-7 lead here at the half. Daniel Dukick out of Santa Clara High School to kick off for the North. The red and blue jerseys with white trim on the numbers, red numbers, white pants, right to left across your screen. Dukick with the North. And the South from the 8-yard line. And evading tables and dropping the ball. He fumbled the ball. Is this the break the North needs? The North recovers. Darnell Digital Green out of Homestead recovering the fumble on the kickoff return.
Well, they finally kicked it deep. It was Jajit Sidhu from Lincoln. Couldn't see who made the hit that caused the ball to come loose, but Green coming up with the ball and giving the North team a chance to take the lead if they can convert on this touchdown opportunity.
1st and 10 at the South 20-yard line for the North. And you can see Calpine not picking up any yardage on the run to the right side.
The North brought in Anthony Kukar, his first action of the game at quarterback, the Del Mar player who led the Dons to an 11-0 start to this season, going into a CCS small school division semifinal where they lost to Santa Cruz. But Kukar was very consistent all year. Good traditional quarterback, drop back and throw. Let's see what he can do in this situation.
6'2", 185 pounds under center. And the handoff straight up the middle for a pickup of about 6.
Kenny Jackson, he's a strong guy, another strong guy. He can definitely pick up yards between the tackles. They have a lot of versatility. Let's see if Kukar might throw the ball in a 3rd and 4 situation here.
That's right, 3rd and 4 from the 14-yard line. So big break perhaps for the North. They gave up points after their turnover in the first half. Can they make the South pay here after the fumble on the kickoff return? Kukar under center. And Kukar looking to pass, but the rush is there. And the South with the sack for a huge loss.
That was Jimmy Waters from Piedmont Hills who came through on that play. Waters, well, it looks like Kukar had somebody in mind, but Waters was just too quick getting up in there. Waters led county seniors with 16 sacks this season, so he's definitely a guy who can get to the quarterback and causes that 11-yard loss.
So it's 4th and 15 from the 25-yard line. We're spotted at the 32, so a 42-yard field goal attempt for Dukick. Dukick, it's long enough. No good, so wide left by Dukick. South will take over their own 25-yard line.
Well, they let that opportunity go to waste. I don't think that would have been huge, for the North, getting the ball with that kind of field position and getting no points out of it. That's really a crusher, especially after that momentum that they carried coming into halftime.
That's right, our halftime statistics. 6 first downs for the South to 4 for the North. Rushing yards 69 to 33 for the North. Passing yards just 48 to 78 for the North. The South goes to work from their own 20-yard line. 9:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The South playing with a 12-7 lead. And the run goes nowhere as the North, I tell you, Dave, these guys are playing so well in the trenches tonight.
Well, that was Travis Reyes' first touch, and last time we saw Travis Reyes, he scored the winning touchdown in the CCS Open Division semifinal game in the final seconds. This time here, we have Edgar Salazar of Santa Clara making the big play with some help from Peter Kosselin, linebacker from Monte Vista.
2nd and 10. And the the handoff, and rumbling forward for about 4 yards. It's Roger Rose Jr.
So another interesting call here because you've got a 3rd and long, probably a passing situation. But then again, when you've got the talented running attack that the South has, you might not go with those traditional ways of thinking, especially in a game like this that's kind of a wide open type of style.
So 3rd and 5 from the 25. Batapede under center for the South, and it looks like the defense jumped. Is it going to be false start against the offense? Were they drawn offsides? They're going to mark that off, so the North on 3rd and 5, offsides.
Interesting that they put Batapede back into that situation because of the play action rollout ability that he has. It could cause a lot of difficulty for a defense and create a lot more different types of plays that they can run.
3rd and inches for the South. Batapede on the handoff, and 1st down South, and then some. Boy, carrying a load of runners. A load of tacklers.
Kalani Markle again with some strong yardage up the middle. He's been doing that on every carry that he's had.
So 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Less than 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The South playing with a 12-7 lead. Last year they lost to the North 24-21. The game had been tied. They gave up a 45-yard field goal. South has been in the driver's seat. They have not trailed in this ball game. Batapede with a strong throw through the hands of his intended receiver. Kevin Crail, the intended receiver.
Good coverage there from Dante Mills from Fremont. But there's that Leland combination again with Batapede going to Crail. They've tried a couple times without, unsuccessfully on that combination.
Second and 10 from the 39.
Pioneer High School and Silver Creek High School. Thanks, ladies.
Rose is in the backfield for the South. And the handoff to Contreras, left side. Looks like no gain on the play.
They're definitely running away from Winkleman. That was Philip Burton from Homestead making the stop on that play. It is an interesting matchup because at right tackle for the South, you have Jacob Fagai from Piedmont Hills, who's going to be playing at Arizona Western Community College in Yuma, Arizona, but he is a Division I caliber player who I would expect to see at that level after he finishes his 2 seasons at community college. But he's matched up against Winkleman on that side, so I'd like to see a play to that side and see who would get the best of that matchup.
Gain of 1, 3rd and 9 from the 40. Batapede dropping back. Has a receiver, it's Contreras. Contreras cutting across the field, 1st down and more. Daniel Contreras with a big play. Flag down. Flag down around the 47-yard line. 14-yard play if it stands.
Holding against the South.
So no, it won't. Holding the call against the South.
Contreras, that's the same play. He caught a ball earlier today with that, just kind of that slant across the middle. And, that's his style. He does that at Gilroy with their spread offense that Jamie Jensen, the quarterback, used to throw for over 4,000 yards, the Northern California record last season. And Gilroy reached the CCS Open Division Final where they lost to Oak Grove in a great 46-35 game. But Contreras is that type of player. He kind of hides a little bit. He's quick. He can get open, do a lot of things when he gets some running room. And so it was another example of that right here. But again, they're faced with another 3rd and long. And we'll see what happens on this one.
3rd and 8 from the 41-yard line. 6:15 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The South with the ball and a 12-7 lead. Batapede looking to throw, drops back, the pressure's there, and it's coming, another sack for the North. Winkleman and Koselin.
Well, Winkleman forced that play. He beat Fagai on that one, and then Koselin came in to clean it up, but Winkleman caused the scramble. And now we got the first. Is this the first punt of the game that you can recall, Kirsten?
4th and 17 for Nate Jones. No, I believe he's punted once before. Jones out of Leland, another Leland player, another Leland Charger.
Arthur Washington of Mountain View is lined up deep. It's a fake.
And a fake punt. The handoff to number 24, but the North is not fooled. They will take over deep in South territory. The South, that's the 3rd trick play. It's the first one that hasn't worked.
Well, James McCullough of Palo Alto making the stop. That was after, it looked like Jaleel Mackey of Independence taking the handoff from the up man, which was Danny Ochoa. But that one didn't work at all. Not quite the success that they had earlier on that fake field goal.
Well, they haven't done anything too straightforward. It's been so many trick plays. The North was ready for that one. So it'll be 1st and 10, the South 31-yard line for Anthony Kukar, the Del Mar graduate. And we're going to have false start for the offense. And Kukar's throw is dropped, but I saw movement from the offense.
Well, this is, if they go backwards, that's really a shame because they're given a second great opportunity, great field position of this half. And if they come up empty again, then there's that's really got to be disheartening for the North team.
Illegal motion against the North. That'll back them up. And David, you're so right. It's going to come down to who can capitalize on their opportunities. 1st and 15 from the 36. Frost, the center. He's the anchor of this offense, according to his head coach, Ray Wright. Kukar under center. 2 in the backfield. And the handoff to number 4, Dante Mills out of Fremont.
And Jimmy Molnar of Bellarmine with another stop. He's made several stops today.
This game billed by both coaches. Looking a bit of a shootout, if you will, looking for the running games to dominate. Instead, we've really seen some good defensive efforts from both teams. I formation, Kukar drops back to pass. He's going for the money, he's got a receiver, what a catch! Trevor Vlay with the catch, it's 1st and goal for the North.
Well, that was just an incredible catch, going backwards. He laid out the wrong way, he laid out backwards. 29-yard play on that, and all of a sudden, the North looks like they may capitalize for a change of this half and possibly take the lead. Let's see what they can do inside the 5-yard line.
1st and goal from the 4. 4:17 remaining. Kukar to Vlay.
Vlay of Westmont.
For nearly 30 yards. 2 receivers out left. A receiver out right. Kukar. And the pass is dropped in the end zone.
Andy Meunier of Lynbrook, who will be playing at Minnesota Crookston next year, which is a Division II school. Meunier's at 6'8", definitely a big target, but unsuccessful. Good coverage by Tanner Burns, the Valley Christian player who will be playing at San Jose State, one of 3 Division 1A players in this game.
3:56 remaining. 2nd and goal from the 4 for the North. 3 in the backfield. And on the misdirection, touchdown North.
Nick Calpine, who scored a county record 41 touchdowns last season, gets another one.
13-12, the North take the lead, and on for the extra point is Dukic. And Dukic converts, 14-12. The North in the lead for the first time in the ball game. 3:52 remaining in the third quarter.
It had been a while since Calpine had a few carries. He's kind of waiting for that for him to get another opportunity.
Pam George is in the stands. Let's meet her special guest.
Kirsten, we're in the stadium now on the side of the North, and I'm with Adrian, who is the mother of Nick Calpine, and he has just scored a touchdown to end the third quarter. And so he's put his team ahead. How are you feeling about him?
Great. I'm really, really proud of Nick. All summer long, the kids have been working out hard together. There's Nicholas, Carl Winkleman, Chris Frost, Jackson Dallas. They're all from Los Gatos on the team together. And Nick has played 4 years with Los Gatos High School and Pop Warner with probably about 12 kids. And they're all playing back together right now, and I'm just extremely proud of them.
Now, did you come tonight with anybody, or any of these people around you related?
We have all the family, the Calpine family.
Okay.
We have all the Los Gatos High School students, the juniors, the seniors, the varsity.
So then how does the Calpine family feel about Nick?
Extremely proud.
Everybody here's supporting him.
And the whole entire Los Gatos crew.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Scoring drive, 6 plays, 1:26, going 32 yards. Off the trick play of the South, that didn't work. Dukic, ball reaches around the 16th, that's a live ball, but picked up by the South. It's Ellis.
Well, looked like he
downing the ball.
Looked like he kind of couldn't make up his mind. He realized that he better catch it because that would have been a live ball. It kind of glanced off his feet, but I think he was thinking it was a punt or something, because obviously a punt he wouldn't have to touch it, but a kickoff. It looks like since he didn't have a clean opportunity there, and then at the last second he let up, but that was a live ball whether he touched it or not.
1st and 10 for the South from their own 16-yard line. 3:50 remaining in the third quarter. First time they trail in this ball game. Man in motion. Ashokumar in, gives it to Gardner. Gardner rumbles out to the 20-yard line.
And that was a good defensive play by Ryan Esaroma from Prospect. We're used to seeing Winkleman make the tackles on Gardner. This time Esaroma was the one who made the final tackle.
2nd and 6 from the 20. Shokumar running the show at this point. One of the co-captains of the South squad. Known for his strong arm. And the handoff. Read immediately by the North.
Esaroma again, second consecutive tackle. That was on Alonzo Parks of Santa Teresa. Good penetration right off the bat. He already had a good 2 yards into the backfield. There's really no chance for Parks on that play.
3rd and 7 from the 19. 2:30 remaining in the third quarter. It looks like we're going to have a timeout on the field. Equipment timeout. Our referee
looks like some
calling
sort
a timeout, so some equipment can be attended to.
Paul Michael Davis of Prospect looks like he has some sort of a equipment issue on his upper arm.
Man in motion for Ashokumar. Ashokumar rolling to his right. Under pressure. And it's Gardner. No, it's not Gardner. Ochoa coming in on offense and picking up some yards for the South.
When Ochoa makes a catch, it's usually a big one. Against Bellarmine in the CCS semifinals, he broke the game open with a huge 27-yard touchdown catch on 4th down that really was the difference in the game late in the 4th quarter. They don't throw to him too often, but when they do throw to him, Ochoa sure can make defenders pay. Look at him run over Shane Cooney of Mountain View.
Danny Ochoa, the Bill Walsh Spirit Award recipient, coming in on offense after being a standout on defense. 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 from the 27. Ashokumar under center. The fake to Gardner, the throw, and in traffic, incomplete.
Cooney comes right back to break up the pass on that play. Immediately after having some trouble with Ochoa, he comes back and makes a good defensive play with Findison on the possible receiving end, the Willow Glen tight end.
So 2nd and 10 for the South. Trailing by 2, 14-12 the score. Gardner in the backfield. Tight formation on the offense. Gardner and picks up about 3 yards. This defense, well, when you've got 45 players on each team, Dave, and everyone's going to play, we really continue to see fresh legs on defense.
Yeah, although that was Esaroma again with his 3rd tackle of this series.
The second half belongs to Esaroma.
Yeah, but it just shows the depth. Obviously with quality players down the roster, you could make substitutions and have reserves come in and make big plays. I don't know if Esaroma would be regarded as a reserve, but you've got talent across the board.
Well, talking to these coaches and talking about the players, they say, "Oh, so and so, he was MVP of his team, and he was MVP." And finally, they're like, "Everyone out here is probably an MVP of their own teams." Ashokumar sending Reyes in motion, and back again. I formation. Ashokumar, the quick pass through the hands, interception. Interception for the North. He's called down at the 42-yard line. The North riding the momentum here in the second half.
Well, the pass was a little bit high, which caused the play to kind of break down a little bit. The tip went to Dante Mills of Fremont, who came up with the interception.
57 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. The North leading 14-12. 1st and 10 from the South 43-yard line.
That's the 3rd turnover of the game of the half for the South. Is that to 1 turnover for the North?
And in on offense is Sam Scudolari out of St. Francis. We saw a lot of him in the 1st quarter. In fact, the only quarterback in the 1st quarter. Handoff to Kenney Pope. Kenney Pope picking up some yardage for the North.
It's interesting to see teams from, maybe the lower divisions or whatever. It's finally an opportunity for those guys to get a lot of, notoriety or attention, I guess. And we've seen 2 plays, Dante Mills and Kenney Pope, teammates at Fremont, making good plays. And that was for a team that went 6-4 in the El Camino division this year.
2nd and 3 from the 36. Two receivers out left, one out right. Scudolari out of the shotgun. Scudolari rolling to his right. Has a receiver, overthrows him.
Good defense by Manier from Piedmont Hills for the South team. But that would have been pretty impossible, or pretty amazing catch to make anyway.
Scudolari, not the first Scudolari to play quarterback here in this game.
No, his brother was an outstanding quarterback at St. Francis, Rich, and Sam will be going to Division I AA University of San Diego.
Third quarter is in the books. The North up 14-12 over the South. Can they hang on for the win and three-peat here at Spartan Stadium? Fourth quarter is up next. Down on the sidelines, let's check in now with Pam George.
Kirsten, in 1977, Los Gatos football coach Charlie Wedemeyer was diagnosed with ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. Given just 3 years to live, Charlie, with the support of his family and community, has beaten all the odds. He is an inspirational leader and has been part of the Santa Clara County All-Star football family for many, many years. This annual game bears his name, and this year both he and his wife Lucy are here to root on these talented athletes. One of the primary charities benefiting from tonight's fundraising game is ALS, and we had a chance earlier to talk to Lucy and to Charlie. Let's take a look at that interview. I'm here with Charlie and Lucy Wedemeyer, and of course we are at the Charlie Wedemeyer All-Star Game. Can you tell us, how do you feel about being down here? Now this is the 34th anniversary.
That means we're only 39, I think. Charlie is saying, I am especially happy to be here this year because I'd been in the hospital and I was worried I'd miss the game, and that was definitely, this is definitely a highlight. I'm so proud of all these young men who have worked hard to be able to play in this game, the pinnacle of their high school career. And he's especially thankful to the coaches that have dedicated so much time also and put in a lot of teaching and encouragement to these young men, as so many of them had been opponents and they had to create a cohesive team. But Charlie is saying, I'm especially thankful to the Almaden Rotary. They are the most amazing, hardworking, incredible people we've ever met. And our hats are off to them. Thank you.
Thank you both so much again this year, and we'll see you again next year.
Absolutely.
Okay then.
Thank you so much.
Back up to you.
Fourth quarter about to begin. Kirsten Fairchilds, David Kiefer, Pam George, happy to bring you this all-star football game. Our officials tonight, well, our referee is Phil Beltran, umpire John Pletch, Robert Acosta, the head linesman, Luis Carranza, the line judge, Jim Bruno, the back judge, Doug Matsui, the side judge, and Lyle Froman, the field judge. The North with the ball, 3rd and 3 from their own 36, from the South 36-yard line. It's a big gain. In fact, it's a touchdown. Touchdown for the North.
Havelock Pomeli of Milpitas, I think he's going to get a flag for excessive celebration, but the South defense was completely fooled on that draw play, and Pomeli goes all the way for the score.
Havelock Pomeli for the touchdown.
Scudellari freezes the defense by going back, but Pomeli surprises them with that draw play.
First play of the fourth quarter, a successful play as the North takes a 20-12 lead. Dukic.
The unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the celebration will create a rather long PAT kick. And that does make a difference because the South is within a one score or one possession game right now. If this misses, or if this is made, it'll be a 2-possession game.
Ball marked on the 18-yard line. That makes this a 35-yard extra point for Daniel Dukic. Long enough, and it's good. Dukic, who missed a couple of field goals early, comes through with the extra long, extra point. The North take a 21-12 lead. Dave, we are coming into the fourth quarter. It was hard to even set up the first play, and here it was, a successful play as Havelock Pomeli rumbling to the end zone.
Well, a great block on the right side by James Nayland of St. Francis. That really created that seam for Pomeli to run through. Nayland is a player who's going to be going to Carthage College, an NCAA Division III school in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He was an all WCAL second team selection. Big block there and just a good call at the right time. And all of a sudden, the North you know, it was hard to believe that they were down 12-0 at one point.
21 unanswered points, scoring drive, 3 plays, 42 yards, only 1:05 off the clock as Dukic kicking off, back deep at Stacy Long for the South. Long catching it around the 3, and our first real return from a deep threat here. And good job by Long catching the ball, bringing it out to about the 23-yard line.
They brought A.J. Ellis back there before they had Jajit Sidhu, who made that fumble on the last kickoff, but they had 2 great return guys, Long and Ellis. I was a little surprised that they did maybe kick Long to those guys, but of course field position is a big thing. They want to use up as much time, make the South use up as much time as possible.
South trailing 21-12. Only 14 seconds gone here in the 4th quarter, and Ellis gets wrapped up quickly at about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he couldn't fool Philip Burton of Homestead on that play. That's almost one of those situations where you dance around a little bit too much in the backfield and you're going to get tackled.
Batapede in, running the offense for the South. I formation. And the handoff. And it's number 9, Alonzo Parks, stood up for the South.
Well, there's a chance for the South now. Esaroma walks off the field with a slight limp.
That's not a good sign. He's played so well here in the second half.
Looks like maybe a calf cramp.
Batapede. 3 receivers out right. Lone back. And the pass is to Contreras, and Contreras is on his horse out across the 38-yard line. Boy, what a great receiver. You know, he runs those kind of short routes, and you just really see what a great burst of speed he has.
Yeah, Contreras catches a good hard ball and very quick. Goes through, basically beats 2 defenders, and then rolls off another. You know, we really haven't seen much of a downfield passing game for the South, and I think the North is kind of cheated up a little bit on defense. They only have 1 defender back.
Batapede gives it to the motion man. Cuts in, big hit, still on his feet, and the whistles blow out to about the 44-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. So Crail, the ball carrier, son of the head coach, Mark Crail.
Yeah, we mentioned, Pam mentioned that relationship earlier, and Kevin had a monster game against his dad earlier this year, running for 149 yards to get in the game ball in Leland's upset win over Pioneer. Now they're on the same sideline.
Batapede looking to his right, quick pass, and through behind his intended receiver, David Henderson.
John Lee with the big hit there. I think it was kind of cosmetic, but still one of those hits you remember. David Henderson might remember that one for a little while. Broke up the pass, prevented a first down.
3rd and 5 from the 45. 9:19 remaining. The South led for most of this game. They fumbled the kickoff return to open up the second half, and the North seemed to grab the momentum and refuses to let go. Batapede dropping back, pressure from his right, dumps it off. That's Contreras with the shoelace catch. The hurdle! He drops the ball, but it rolls out of bounds. Daniel Contreras, flags on the field, at least 2 flags on the field. Everyone is murmuring and mumbling about that play.
What a crazy play. First of all, Jordan Jefferson of Palo Alto with intense pressure on Batapede, and then Contreras with that shoestring catch, and then just all kinds of crazy stuff after that.
Oh, there's the hit. Flags down. We'll see what the call is. Chop block against the South. To still 3rd down.
How about this leap by Contreras here over Lee, and then the monster hit.
Talk about sacrificing your body.
I think that was Zach Guild of Mitty with that crunching hit there on Contreras.
Thank goodness hurdlers don't have to worry about him when they run track and field. 3rd and 6 for the South from their own 44-yard line. Big play. Batapede and flags thrown.
You know, again,
He'll head to the sideline to talk it over with his coach.
You know, these 3rd down plays are so big, especially in this series.
Ball start against the offense. They'll back up again. Boy, Dave, Contreras' play, that could have been a huge momentum swing. Instead, the penalty, and then now another one.
Well, they're, you know, again, they keep putting themselves in poor situations, and that's what's killed them in the second half.
So the 5-yard penalty assessed 3rd and 11 from the 39. 9:07 left to play in the game. South trailing. Twin receivers on either side. Batapede dropping back, intense pressure. He gets the ball off. It's Kevin Crail. Crail avoiding the tackle and out of bounds at the 47-yard line. A huge first down for the South.
I like the way that Alonzo Parks of Santa Teresa blocked 2 players after. Look at the Parks, number 9 on the left side of your screen. Well, you didn't see it, but he held off 2 defenders and gave Batapede just enough time to find Crail.
Kevin Crail out of Leland. 1st and 10 for the South on the 46-yard line.
Mark's got to like that.
That would have been a huge stop for the North. Instead, it's new life here for the South. 2 receivers outright. Reyes goes in motion. And the reverse, Batapede's got a receiver, no! What a defensive play, breaking up.
That was Zach Gill breaking up the play again after he had made that crunching hit earlier, but the flea flicker, again, they're pulling out all the stops.
Hey, you know, it must have been a fun week of practice for the South this week, practicing all these trick plays.
I think that's all they did was practice trick plays.
Holding another flag, holding against the South. They'll go to work at their 43-yard line. That's 2nd and 20. Reyes in motion again. He's given the ball. Cuts back in the center, cuts back in the middle, and reaches the line of scrimmage.
There was a nice block there by Stephen Marquez of Overfelt, number 68. Kind of leads the way a little bit. And Reyes was able to follow both Marquez and Jacob Fagaya to pick up a few yards.
So he did reach the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10 from the North 46-yard line. Reyes again in motion. Batapede hands off to Ellis. Ellis rumbles forward, about 2 yards shy of a first down.
Well, Ellis gets the South back in good position to convert on a 3rd and short opportunity now, but still the time keeps ticking, and they've taken up probably a little bit more time than they need to right now with the clock getting down to about 7.5 minutes left.
The South continues to battle hard, I formation. And the handoff to Kalani Markle. Did he pick up the first down?
Looks like he's got plenty of yards, at least a yard past the first down marker, so gives a little bit of an opportunity
and
now.
Our referee took a look. It is a first down. 1st and 10 from the North 35-yard line, less than 7 to go. Batapede looking to his right. That pass is high. Henderson through his hands. Batapede, I think he had more time than he thought. Obviously, he was looking for a quick release there, but through the hands of Henderson.
It was a good pickup by Kalani Markle on the block, and I haven't mentioned this earlier, but you can blitz. I don't know if that was a blitz on this play, but in the past you've not been able to blitz in this All-Star game. Now you can blitz with one linebacker through one specific gap, but no more than one.
The South just chewing up the clock. This will be their 11th play of this drive. They trail 21-12. Twin receivers split out each side. Batapede. He's got a receiver again. It's Contreras over the middle, and what a hit! What a hit!
That looked like Arthur Washington laying some wood there on Contreras.
We've seen some big hits in this game, and this is certainly one of them.
Well, look at how, I mean, Contreras was stopped flat-footed, and
Contreras saw Washington coming and just stopped.
yeah, Washington really had an opportunity to tee off in that one.
Timeout called by the North. 6:17 left in the game, 21-12. Let's go down now to Pam George on the sidelines.
Kirsten, this year's head coaches are Mark Creel from Pioneer High School for the South and Ray Wright from Lynbrook High School for the North. Now, a little side story here. Coach Creel has watched his son Kevin play football as a receiver for Leland for the past 4 years, and before that, he played in Pop Warner. But until this summer, Coach Creel had never coached him in a game. This is Creel's third time as a coach here at the All-Star Game, and the other two teams won their games. So Coach Creel is hoping for a three-peat with his son on the team. Back up to you.
Thank you, Pam. The South with Batapede at the helm. 6:17 remaining in the game. Batapede on the handoff to Ellis. Picks up a few yards on the dive play.
That was Mike Anderson of Palo Alto who made the tackle there, and looks like he stopped him 2 yards short of the first down, but Mike Anderson is going to be playing at Yale next season, and you know, the South has been faced with so many third down conversion tries. That one failed, but they're going to look like, you know, they're going to go for it on fourth. They have no choice with 5 minutes 40 seconds left.
4th and 2 from the 27. We've seen plenty of trick plays from the South. What do they have up their sleeves on this one? Ellis in the backfield. Batapede, quick out play. Incomplete. Turned over on downs. The North will take over at their own 27-yard line.
That was Jones, or John Lee, excuse me, from Milpitas, who looks like he got just a fingertip in there to get the ball away from Nate Jones of Leland. And that, you know, that could be the game, essentially. I mean, it's going to make it almost impossible for the South to be able to come back with 5:30 left and having to score 2 more times.
You're watching the Silicon Valley Youth Classic Charlie Wedemeyer All-Star Football Game, the 34th annual game. The North with the ball and the lead, 21-12. I believe it's Danny Young in at quarterback for the North. Young, and pass incomplete.
You know, we have to feel for the South team and just how frustrating it must have been, or must be, when they took 13 plays in 6 minutes and 16 seconds, needing to score and not getting a thing.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. While we have this opportunity, we'd like to thank the Rotary Club of Almaden Valley, especially their president, Jerry Gibson, and Jim Guido, who has been with this game since the inception and also played a big part in getting this game back here to Spartan Stadium. Kirsten Fairchild's David Kiefer, Pamela George, bringing you the action here at Spartan Stadium in late July here on the campus of San Jose State University. Danny Young out of Los Altos High, under center for the North. Less than 5:30 remaining. And the pitch play to Calpine. Nick Calpine rumbles toward the sideline. Pickup of about 2 yards. Young out of the shotgun. Has Calpine out as a receiver. Outright. Sends a man in motion. Out of the shotgun. Young has a receiver. That pass is caught. Still on his feet, and enough for the first down. It's Kenney Pope out of Fremont making the play. Penalty marker down. Illegal shift called against the North offense. So 3rd and 15. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right for Young under center. Young dropping back, pressure coming, and dumps it off. Pickup of about 2 or 3, so it looks like the South will be getting the ball back. Kenny Jackson on the reception as the South forced to call a timeout. 4:37 remaining in the final quarter. 21 unanswered points by the North. Let's go down to the field and Pam George.
Kirsten, if the past is any prediction of the future, we may be looking at the next stars of football right now on this field. Past stars of the Youth Classic include the late former Arizona Cardinal Pat Tillman, current Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Jeff Garcia, former 49er Carl Monroe, former Dallas Cowboy Doug Cosby, current 49er Jeff Ulbridge, and Buffalo Bills quarterback Trent Edwards, just to name a few.
Thank you, Pam. Kenney Pope to punt. High snap. Does a great job coming down with it. Very shallow kick. And it's Ellis. Still on his feet and gets out of bounds.
Well, the South needed a big play, and they almost got one with that high snap. How did Pope get that one off anyway?
It was a great play by him.
Well, look at the catch he made. One-handed, I don't know how high he got up off that, and then to kick, just to get it off with his left foot.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's left-footed.
I don't know either. Great play. Twin receivers for Ashokumar. Reyes in motion. Reyes dropping back. Plenty of time. Reyes over the middle. Pass complete. And a first down for the South.
Well, Jajit Sidhu of Lincoln making a good play, almost dropping that one, but every little bit helps, especially a first down with 4:15 left.
First and 10 from the North 43. 3 receivers eligible on the right side. Parks in the backfield. The pass is complete to Crail, and Crail picking up about 6.
I wonder if they're setting up another double pass. I mean, that's a situation where he could have thrown it because the pass was backward. Maybe, I don't know if they would pull that one again like they did earlier in the game.
3:37 remaining, the clock continuing to run. Can the South score twice? Ashokumar under pressure. And the heat was coming, and its name is Carl Winkleman as a flag is thrown.
Looks like James McCullough interfered with the receiver on that play, so that's going to go against the North.
Ashokumar wanted no part of Carl Winkleman coming.
Yeah, it looks that was McCullough obviously got to Contreras before the ball did.
So it'll be first and 10 after the penalty. Again, the twin receivers. Now 3 on the left side. Ashokumar going for the end zone. Was he in bounds? He was! Touchdown South!
David Henderson of Valley Christian making a spectacular catch.
David Henderson has been overthrown all night, but what a play. Touchdown for the South.
I didn't think there was any way he was going to catch that ball, but he made the adjustment, twisted his body, and somehow got a knee in bounds, or a foot. That was an amazing play.
Spectacular play by Henderson.
They're going to go for 2, I believe, Kirsten.
Well, Batapede, again, I said it before, he is the kicker and also a very good quarterback who's had a great night for the South team.
Sorry, I was mistaken there on that one. I thought he was going to line up at quarterback.
Batapede, does it go through? It wasn't pretty, but it's good. 21-19, the North have cut into the deficit, trailing with 3:17 left to play. David, this game has been a momentum swing ever since the second half started.
Well, yeah, it's been, the way the South has been moving the ball, you think that they would get rewarded for it, and they finally did. The penalties had cost them and the mistakes, but they've been moving the ball in the last 2 series.
That scoring drive went 45 yards, only 5 plays, a minute 8.
That was Ashu Kumar with the throw on that. I believe that's his first touchdown throw of the game. How he came up with that ball when it was headed out of bounds, I don't know. But, it was going to be a dangerous receiver combination next year as Henderson and Scott on the same team at Foothill College.
Foothill College is getting a number of these players, David. The Owls are going to be stocked next year. So 3:17 remaining in the game.
Kalani Markle is maybe the designated squib kicker.
Okay, we're going for the onside kick here. 3:17 left to play. South has been successful a lot of time, but that kick is just straight to the north. So let's take another look.
That bounce could have been tricky, but it actually hurt them because it just bounced straight up into Sean Sanders' hands from Lee.
North offense ran off 21 unanswered points until that last drive. It's David Henderson making one of what could be considered several plays of the game. We've had some great plays on both offense and defense. And it's Kukar in at quarterback, and the South defense doing a good job putting Pomelet on his back.
Michael Estrada from Oak Grove was the one making that play on Havelock Pomeli. And they still have time with one timeout left. Didn't we talk about these close games year after year?
We sure did. Kukar out of the shotgun, back on either side. Trying to get protection, no protection as 3 South players come in on the sack. That was a huge loss.
Looked like Estrada was there first, making another play. But look at that was the blitz. Remember we said that we can blitz this year. In the past, that wasn't allowed.
Out of the shotgun. Calpine lines up at receiver on the right side. Scudolari sending a player in motion, and that's going to be a delay of game.
Looked like Mike Scott maybe didn't quite get the call on that. He was late on the motion and took too much time for the play to set up.
3rd and 32. 3:02 remaining in the game. Scudolari sending Scott in motion. Scudolari, room to run. No, it looks like his own man ran into him.
Well, I don't know if that's good or bad. You don't want to force a ball that could be, fumbled or something like that. But there was another blitz there by Gilroy's Ethan Ogle of the South, and that might have thrown off the play. But a great opportunity here for the South, and they've got Ellis and Long again back on the punt.
4th and 30. Kenney Pope to punt. Pressure's there. It's a high punt. And the South will let it bounce. Yowza. Looked like there might have been an opportunity for a fair catch there. Instead, they'll take over with no timeouts from their own 21-yard line with 2 minutes, 11 seconds left to play.
So the North on that last drive only took 2 minutes and 14 seconds when they really needed to run more time off the clock, but they failed to get a first down.
Arjun Ashokumar out of Yerba Buena in at quarterback. Sends Reyes in motion. Looking to his right, but the pressure is coming, and it's named. Well, I thought it was going to be Carl Winkleman, and instead it's Mike Doricott.
they've got Ashu Kumar in there because of the stronger arm, but if you don't get time to throw, it doesn't do any good.
Huge loss, 2nd and 18.
You know,
Clock continues to tick.
Esaroma there drew 2 linemen double teaming him, and that helped create that lane for Doricott to reach Ashu Kumar.
3 receivers left side, 1:38. Clock continues to tick. Dumps it out to Reyes. Reyes heading for the sidelines. He doesn't get there.
I think that's got to be the plan, because I don't think they have a downfield passing game. So you might have to just get space for one of these quick backs like Reyes and try to get them to create something on their own.
1:12. The South need to stop the clock.
But
3rd and 16.
No timeout, so it's going to be pretty tough with 85 yards to go and a minute to do it with no timeouts left.
Ashokumar putting Contreras in motion, out of the shotgun, looking for protection. He's on the run, and he's sacked. He's sacked.
Matt Turi of Wilcox making that play, and I think that's about it.
That brings up 4th down. The clock is ticked down to 35.
The Turi just beat his man and just took the feed out from the quarterback, and I think that's probably it. They're going to probably try to throw it long here, but this might be the last play of the game. Or
20 seconds left, 4th and 21 from the 10. Is there a little magic left for the South? Ashokumar drops the ball, picks it up. Ashokumar, he eludes. Does he have a receiver? And the catch is made, but not enough. 3 seconds, 2, 1. Ball game, the North comes back after trailing by 12 points. The North win the Silicon Valley Youth Classic Charlie Wedemeyer All-Star Football Game for the 3rd year in the row. 21-19 over a very very determined South squad. David, another great finish to this always great
it could
game.
Could have been even greater if Ashu Kumar had seen Jajit Sidhu, who was wide open about 10 yards past the farthest defender. If he didn't throw short and saw him long, the South might have scored the winning touchdown on the final play of the game.
Congratulations to Ray Wright, the head coach out of Lynbrook for the North. A 21-19 victory over the South.
Well, another typical, like you said, typical amazing Wedemeyer All-Star game coming down to the wire. And, you know, I think we saw some great hitting, some exciting trick plays, some clutch plays, you know, just great event for a lot of these guys who are playing their final high school games.
Outstanding players out on the field making outstanding plays tonight. The second half was very entertaining.
Well, the North just had a series of great plays in their comeback. This was laying out to make a catch for the touchdown on a pass from Anthony Kukar. And then we've got Nick Calpine giving the North another score on a nice block. And then Havelock Pomeli really kind of putting the ceiling touchdown with the long 36-yard touchdown run. Of course, the South had their opportunities too with Danny Contreras, but watch this hit. This typified kind of the hitting in the entire game with Zach Guild making that crunching hit to knock the ball loose, and then Ricky Batapete of Leland finding his teammate from Leland, Kevin Crail, for a nice gain. And the South moved the ball very well in the fourth quarter with kind of culminating in Asher Kumar's pass that David Henderson of Valley Christian caught for a spectacular 24-yard catch. But it wasn't enough. Again, on the last play, Asher Kumar mishandling the snap, having to scramble, and then throwing short to Kevin Crail, but about 10 yards short of the first down, and the clock runs out for the North's 21-19 win.
Just how close was this game? Well, total yardage for the South, 185 yards. total yardage for the North, 180. So much talent on the field tonight, and Pam George is talking to one of the players that made a difference in tonight's game.
Kirsten, I'm on the field with our recipient of the Spirit Award. This is Daniel Ochoa from Oak Grove High School. Daniel, the first recipient of the Bill Walsh Spirit Award. This was voted on by the coaches. How do you feel?
Well, first I want to thank Coach Krell for coaching our team and taking out of his time to to go out there and coach a bunch of players. It was nice to have them all come together, play a game I love, and to have Bill Walsh, whose name is on that, on the banner over there. All those 49er memories flashed through my head watching football for the first time on my brother's lap. I love this game, and it's kind of unreal to get honored for doing something you love. So it's just, I feel blessed, and thank you for all that, and just thank you for that award.
And the $1,000 scholarship, that'll come in handy when you're in college this coming fall.
Yes, very
And
much.
where are you going to school?
I'm going to Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo.
You excited?
Very excited.
Well, good luck to you down there. I'm sure you're going to do well. You're doing well already, so this is going to be a good send-off for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
David, here is another Wednesday in late July, and we had another wild one. What will you remember most?
Well, this game had just about everything you could want in an entertainment value. I mean, hard hitting, great individual plays, close game, down to the wire. I think everybody left here with the feeling that they got their money's worth.
Oh, they sure did. Coming in, the South had won 17, the North 14. We had the 2 tie. Now it's a 17-15 with the North winning 3 straight.
Well, I don't know. I think that's just by chance because you see how even these teams are, and it's that way year after year. I don't know if there's any way you can explain that, but they've all been close, tight games.
Well, this was the 34th annual Silicon Valley Youth Classic Charlie Wedemeyer All-Star Game. The North, a 21-19 winner here at San Jose State University. On behalf of my partner, David Kiefer, our sideline reporter, Pam George, everyone up top, David Jones, Doug Gallagher, Andre Polizzi, and Emerson Dong, our production manager, Stefan Busick, and our producer and director, Jim Reisinger. I'm Kirsten Fairchild. So long from San Jose State. The North rule today.